Laura, so was that his website or yours on the screen with your face over it? So Laura, that is his web. That is actually his website. That's the whole beauty of it. So you're on their website. I wish I could have shown you any of a number of them. The other ways I do them is if I don't know somebody, it wouldn't be unusual for me to have this, and then my subject line would be like, "Hi, Laura in Tennessee. It's really Bob in New York." And then I would start off like almost like a small little Facebook video. And then I'd say, "Hey, I see that you were on my site. You had a few questions. I just want to answer it." So the power to all of that, though, is they're going to open it because they get a 3-second video at the beginning that kind of shows that you're on their site, and that clicks and gets them there. Thanks, Amy. I'm glad you thought that was an incredible tool. There's 60. Some of you, I didn't see 60 yeses or nos in the chat bar. So come on and let's get with the program, people. Let's go. Camilla, I'm looking at updating my website POS. Is Shopify currently the best, more favorable platform, suggested rewards or loyalty program to offer? I just say, Camilla, I have a blog on my site, or you can just Google Bob Phibbs, like best POS. I think you'll find it because there's 40 questions you should be asking yourself. There's an awful lot that are good. I know that Lightspeed recently bought Vend. I know there's some that work with Shopify, some that don't. Where retail is ultimately going is one provider that follows us around. Ultimately, that's what everyone is trying to find. Alibaba seems to have found it in China, but the idea is there's one shopping basket, right? So I go into the grocery store, I can pay for food, I can have food delivered, I can schedule food to come to me, I can take the food with me. Then when I come home, I can go on the website, or I could go on my app, or maybe I'm going to take something from a catalog, but it all comes to one place. That's where we're trying to go. So with that in mind, as you're thinking about a new POS, you want to go through and be thinking, how does this bring everything together? The worst thing is, you've got one system for online and one for social and one for live streaming and one for website. And I just don't think that's really good. I appreciate that there's a lot of retailers that want to offer loyalty. And Lauren, are you being sponsored by a loyalty company today? Are you at all?
No.
I just have to ask that because, whoops, foot in mouth. But I will say that I think a lot of retailers offer loyalty and rewards points because you like getting them. And make no mistake, your service, your selection, your personal service has something to takes money. And when you're giving something in a POS system that you're going to give them points or discounts, every purchase is being marked down effectively. Now, my issue is that money that you could have spent to get people who don't know you to come in is being used to just keep getting people to get the deal. And I have worked with people who, we doubled our loyalty points this weekend. We got a big sale. Yeah, well, then what are you going to do? Because all that's doing is it's typically grabbing demand from the future and pulling it into today, which if you're in a tight spot, that can be great. But then what are you going to do in 3 months or 3 weeks, whatever it's going to be? Oh, well, we have to do another one. And now you're just in the hamster cycle. So just really look at any loyalty or rewards, especially if you're doing them on the sly and you're just doing a punch card or something where you're keeping the cards for them. I used to be in the coffee business. We had a loyalty card, and quite simply, they wanted, the secret behind most gift cards is you want you to buy them, and then if they don't use them, after like 5 years, you keep the money. Now that varies by state, and talk to your, don't send me hate mail. Talk to your lawyer and all that kind of stuff, because some states have different versions of it. But the idea was that you would take that money, be more convenient. Just be really careful that it's about having a great, exceptional experience in your store, in your 4 walls. There's no exception for that. And there's no reason in 2021 you can't train and deliver that. All right. Because if you want to get on a call and tell me why it sucks to be you know what? The person who can and the person who can't are both right. And so we've come through hell the last year. And you're here. You're here. I was thinking today, I made it through an awful lot of things. I made it through Kennedy getting shot and Reagan getting shot and the Twin Towers and various recessions and COVID, and I'm here today. I'm 63. Great. Well, that's what we got to tap into, and that's what you need to tap into. If you've been stuck in the mud and you're telling me how it sucks to be you, and you may not use those words, but while you can't, just understand that something is being more rewarding for you holding that position, and you just have to do one thing: is come up with your choice muscle and just say, I'm not going to do that. It really is that simple. And sometime maybe I'll tell you my story of what I went through in 2008, but this is all about your questions. This is not about my life. This is about your questions. So Edwin, I love it. Great ideas. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much. Holly, learning a lot, this wonderful information. I'm just starting out. Well, great, Holly. The other thing is that an awful lot of retailers, the narrative last year was 25,000 retail stores are going to close. You know what? How many closed? 8,700. Actually less in 2020 than 2019. Oh, I didn't know that. Of course not, because fear sells and being scared sells, and God knows we go and click that crap, which makes them even more money. Just stop doing that, right? Because your goal is, you have to really be careful that you think what you think is you. It isn't. Your emotions are not you. You know what I mean? And this is made a little too existential, but that voice, if you just see that your voice is watching you as an actor, why am I thinking that? Well, you just change the channel. I don't want to think about that. Great. And you don't have to be, say I don't live in reality, but a lot of the way that we take things is because of past hurts that have morphed into this is who I am. And I just don't think it works in retail, especially retail. Laura, cool, good. Yes, I'm still listening. Thank you, Piero. That's good. I'm glad to know that. Karen, I didn't know about that feature. Do they have good support? They don't need support. They work great, Karen. I can guarantee that. So play around with it, try it, send it to friends. They'll love you. I can guarantee that. Edwin, I have a new store manager starting training this week. 4 top things to be sure she gets from her training. Well, you should have signed up for salesrx.com, and that would have explained all of it, because there's like 120 things. But I also encourage you to join my challenge the 3rd week of April. Maybe Lauren will be kind enough to send you guys the link for registration when it opens. It opens up. It's only a few days before, because let's face it, you might sign up now, but in 3 weeks, who was Bob Phibbs? What? Did he have a shirt? Yeah. So we keep it pretty tight to when we open, but I would encourage you that. The one thing I always say, Edwina, is write down the things that drive you nuts. Just start off with, what are the 10 questions that drive you nuts that you answer every week? And write those on a piece of paper and get them all down, and then prioritize, what are the things that I could easily train ahead of time. That's the first thing you do. And I'm always saying the second thing is, you better teach them how to clean the toilet and clean the bathroom if you've got them in your store. That's ridiculous. Well, you know what? We all use it. And I can find out really quick your attention to detail, how well you'll take a task like that, and realize that, oh, we're all doing this, instead of that's beneath them. Because a store manager, to me, has to be able to do everything you do with a smile. Okay. And they don't even have to make payroll. So there you go. Laura, we're adding an e-commerce section to our website instead of using Spotify or whatever. Thoughts on that? I mean, it's fine. I don't know. I think you mean Shopify. Spotify would be if you were making a recording of it, which I don't think people are doing. Doing it on your own, I wouldn't recommend, because the reason why you use Shopify is because they have all the easy things about analytics and building an inventory and pricing and all of those other things. So I just say the wheel's already been made. Why do it on your own? It's like we just signed 100 stores the other day to SalesRx. And what they said is, it would take us 2 years to do this, and trying to get consensus around what to train, that would be enough of an argument. But then how do we film it, and how do we make it actionable and small enough that it's going to work? So it's the same thing. You want to make sure that you're going through and just thinking about what do they absolutely have to learn, and then what are the nuances to your business. So I hope that helps. Actually, I was going back and forth between Edwina and Stacy. Sorry, there you go. And I think we only have a few more minutes. Is that true, Laura? I think we only have like a couple of minutes. So I know we have a Q&A there, and Stacy, what can you say to business owners that are hesitant to invest in business services, CRMs, paid marketing to elevate their business organization visibility? What can I say to business owners who are hesitant to invest in business services? Well, what's the alternative? I use a very full-featured CRM. You come on to the Retail Doctor, you better believe, retaildoc.com. You give me any piece of your information. You register to be on my newsletter, which goes out every Sunday night at 6:30, where I give at least one article, probably a funny cartoon, and maybe a testimonial or some other stories. You register for that. Yeah, we're going to know exactly what you did and why you're doing it, et cetera. But what it does is it gives me information. This is the reason you do it, because information is power. The more information you know about someone, the more you can know, oh, we're right on track, or, oh, that doesn't register with them. Amazon is really just a data company that's connected to a warehouse, which is why they're so powerful. So I'm a very big believer that CRM, a customer relationship service, is great. Old school, I used to have 3x5 white cards, and I would write your name and your email address. Well, in those days, it would have just been your address and your phone number and what you bought the last time. That's what we used to do. And then I would send you a personal card. If you bought over $200, I'd say, hey, thanks very much, Laura. I really appreciated your buying the 100 fitted adult tights for your dance troupe. And I look forward to the show on the 18th, and I hope to see you soon, Bob. But nowadays, that all can be in a central place so that all your employees can be doing that, and you can see it, and that data is what counts. It's not how many likes you get. It comes down to what exactly can you lift from that data. So there you go. Karen, ideas on how to get customers to shop on local websites as opposed to a big box. If they see it in our site, we have it in stock. If inventory is correct, well, start with that, Karen, if inventory is correct. So at the most basic level, make sure inventory is correct. So you do an inventory by product line or by manufacturer every week so that you can try to get that. But that's always tough. When I go on a big website like Dick's and choose my location, search for an item, the item will show up. I'll get excited to buy it. And then the website says the products aren't available within 100 miles, or even, that's a long one. How can I educate my customers better about the brands of shopping on a local site? So Karen, again, I'm only here to say that's really not the point. The point would be that they come to you, not a local site. The point would be that what is the personal element you can do, and not just say we're local, we're better, we do this, we do that. What you want to do is be able to enunciate. If I was to give you $100,000 for your business and we were trapped in an elevator, could you tell me what you do and what made you different that I couldn't poke holes in it? We're family run. Okay, so what? I don't care. That means nothing to me. We have been dance instructors ourselves. Okay, that means nothing to me. Until you can connect that to a benefit to me, it's just saying stuff that we feel comfortable with. I'm a former dance instructor. Okay, so I know the ins and outs, and a lot of times a young student will end up doing X when it really should be Y. And I'm not going to go after that by we're cheaper. I'm going to say that what they're getting is the ability to compare and contrast and personal service versus buying something online, having to return it, and it still doesn't do the job. But until you really do that exercise of being able to say that in a short amount of time, I think you end up just saying buy local. I went into a bookstore not that long ago, and on the front door had this 24 by 36 piece of paper that said, if you see it here, buy it here, stop buying from Amazon. And all I thought was, you really think that's it? You think that was it? Instead of relentlessly training your employees how to build rapport and become a trusted advisor and compare and contrast and know how to add on and handle objections. No, we're going to put up a sign and that's it. Or we're going to put it on our website. How many of you still have on your website, COVID-19 restrictions require? I get it. You did it. But now we're reopening, and now people are looking forward. You have to be thinking, how many times am I doing this to a customer, and how many times am I doing this to a customer? Your goal is to say, we have it, come in and meet me, basically, and be able to say it in a way that gets them to take action. It's not the customer's fault you're not successful. It's not Amazon's fault. It's not Walmart's. And yeah, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money selling their services to independent retailers saying, oh, this is it. It's not about likes. It's not about doing a video. It's not all about that. It's the target. Do you remember the target? I'm a big fan of Star Trek movies, Star Trek, Wrath of Khan. And Kirk says to Khan, you keep, like a poor marksman, you keep missing the target. I'm still here. I'm still alive. The target is only that person that walks in your door today. 90% of retail sales are still made in a brick and mortar store. What are you doing to make their day before they're going to make yours? I think a lot of retailers, we go through, we say, well, I'll invest in training when sales come up. Oh, okay. So that's kind of like saying, when the stove gets hot, then I'm going to add wood. It doesn't work that way. Well, we've always done things this way. Well, great. But Amazon, Target, all those other companies, they were able to use those profits to find out even more ways. And people are pretty happy with them. So instead of trying to bash them, because I'm sure several of you shop at Target or Walmart, Amazon, maybe you don't tell anyone that, but quite simply, it's just convenient. So let's just take that off the table. If you're going to succeed in 2021, you've got to find a way to open your heart to strangers before they're going to open their heart to you. You can have everything in life you want if you just make somebody else's life better first. And then you can make enough money to live the life that you want. And that's probably going to mean paying employees more. It's probably going to mean clearing out your selections. It's probably going to mean looking at how do you re-merchandise, how do you re-lamp, and how do you get ready for a retail renaissance that is already taking place. That's what I want you to think about. All right, 10 more minutes. I see that. So Bob's website, thanks for that. I like your no nonsense style in addition to my shirt. That's great. Thanks, Jonna. All right, good. Yeah, so I think I only have like 1 or 2 minutes. I'm going to just take a look at the Q&A here. Yes. What was that website on the screen with your face over it? Well, the company is called Bomb, and you can just do a Google search. You'll find it easily. Oh, can I talk about TikTok? Yes, I like to use those when I've had onions. Oh, no. I don't really have a special, I need a question there, Roberta. I just see you talk about TikTok. I don't know what that means. I mean, can I talk about it? Yes. If you're looking for a young generation, yes, absolutely. Is that something that I personally would do myself? No, I would be trying to get young people that work for me to find ways, or great people around me. I would try to target and realize that the human spirit is alive and well, and dance is huge. And how can you be a part of that and show people that the products you carry fit into that lifestyle in a new and different way? Instead of saying, this is who we are, you might have to broaden your ideas and think, oh, well, what could we be? And then I think you've got it. So with that in mind, Laura, I think I probably should wrap this up. If you like what I had to say, do me a favor and type in the chat bar, what's one thing you got out of today? Do it, because it's a one way to anchor your memories of being with us for the last hour. Just type in what's one thing you got out of today. Just put it in the chat bar. Just type it in. There's a little delay there, Laura, and so I'll wait for we can wait for a minute. But do me a favor, make your brain work. What's one thing you got out of today? Bomb. Good, Renee. That's great. Karen, make a story that you can't poke holes in. And I'm pretty good at that, so that's good to know. Amy, go online to buy. We go in store to discover. That's exactly right. Ashley, revamp our store for back to school. You better believe it. Gilbert, team video for hiring. Bravo. Natalia, open hearts to strangers. That's the best part. Yeah, well, maybe I'll have you back sometime, or check me on Retail Doc, and I talk about that a lot. It's also in Sales RX. That's the North Star that we set. Adrian, quit blaming Amazon and other big box stores. Exactly. Roberta, even more helpful for the fall. Fabulous. Stacy, don't get distracted by a new shiny object. Focus on engagement, experience, and employee training. You heard me, Stacy. Kitty, positive predictions for the future. You better believe it. Christina, start a Shopify business. Good. Laura, lots of things. Open your heart to strangers before they open their heart to you. When you realize that and you see that you're not doing it, you can change it in the moment. Bravo, Laura. Basia, open your heart to the person who walks in your door. And Holly, connect with customers, show them the value in shopping with you. Yeah, because customers walk in full of hope. Are you adding to that, or are you pouring water on it? Just be careful those words, because people who feel they matter buy more. So if you're complaining about average check and average number of items, people are voting with their wallets right then. They're saying not enough. So you can do more than that. And I think that makes it easier. Laura, we said the best answer. Wasn't that it? The best question. What did we say? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think we said anything.
We didn't. So
No.
I think we're going to go crazy here. So I think I'm going to pick, no one had, I think Stacy Belanoff, you get a copy of my book, The Retail Doc's Guide to Growing Your Business. So Lauren will send that off to you, or excuse me, I will send that off to you when you contact Lauren about where the address would be, and then we can make sure that you get it. So there you go. And thank you very much for joining me. Any last thoughts, Lauren?
No, just thank you so much for being here. Happy birthday again. That was fun.
Excellent.
It looks like folks learned a lot and enjoyed it. So
Fabulous.
thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me. Bye.
Bye, Bob.